Four numbers. That's the entire US economy. Growth, prices, jobs, and the price of money. Learn these four, and every headline you've scrolled past and ignored finally clicks. You'll know exactly what each one means and where to check it yourself for free. Because almost every economic headline is really answering just one of four questions. Is the economy growing? Are prices rising? Are people working? And what does it cost to borrow money? Answer those, and you understand the whole machine. And here's what most people miss. Economists aren't reading the news, they're reading the data behind it. So here's how to decode that data, one number at a time. Start with size. Gross domestic product, GDP, is the total value of the final goods and services produced inside a country. For the United States, that now runs past $31 trillion, according to the Bureau of Economic Analysis. But the headline you usually see isn't that total, it's the growth rate. How fast inflation-adjusted, or real, GDP changed in the latest quarter, reported at an annual pace. So when you hear, the economy grew 2%, that usually means real GDP growth. 2 shrinking quarters in a row is the old rule of thumb for a recession. But the official US call weighs much more, including jobs, income, production, and spending. You can pull the data yourself at bea.gov. But growth means less if your money buys less than it used to. That's the second piece, inflation. The Consumer Price Index, CPI, tracks the prices of a typical basket of goods and services, from groceries and rent to gasoline and medical care. Its changes are commonly reported month to month and year over year. When inflation runs hot, the purchasing power of your paycheck shrinks, even if the number printed on it never changes. Economists also watch core inflation, which strips out food and energy because their prices can swing sharply and obscure the underlying trend. And the measure the Fed uses for its official inflation target is a broader index called PCE, Personal Consumption Expenditures. It covers a wider range of consumer expenses and adjusts more readily as spending patterns change. CPI and core CPI come from the Bureau of Labor Statistics at bls.gov. PCE comes from the Bureau of Economic Analysis. Now here's where it gets interesting. These numbers don't sit in neat, separate boxes. They pull on each other, and the next two help explain how your rent, loans, and savings behave. Then there's work. On the first Friday of most months, the jobs report, officially the employment situation, lands, and it can move global markets in seconds. It answers two major questions: how many jobs the economy added or lost, the non-farm payrolls number, and what share of the labor force is unemployed and actively looking for work, the unemployment rate. A low rate sounds like pure good news, but when workers are hard to find, employers may raise wages. And if pay rises faster than productivity, some of that pressure can feed into prices. Those numbers also come from the Bureau of Labor Statistics at bls.gov. Which brings us to the number that ties everything together: interest rates. The Federal Reserve, the Fed, sets a target range for the federal funds rate, the overnight rate banks charge one another. You never borrow at that rate yourself, but it ripples outward into your mortgage, your car loan, your credit card, and even the interest on your savings. Here's what most people miss. The Fed doesn't move that rate at random. It watches the other three areas, above all, inflation and employment, the two sides of its core mandate. The economy running too hot while prices climb? The Fed may raise rates to cool demand. The economy stalling while jobs disappear? It may cut rates to support spending and hiring. The Fed holds 8 scheduled policy meetings a year and can also act between them during a crisis. You can read its decisions straight from the source at federalreserve.gov. So look at what you just did. 4 kinds of numbers: growth, prices, jobs, and the price of money. They're not a list, they're a loop. Growth supports jobs. A tight job market can lift wages. Rising demand and costs can feed inflation. Inflation and employment shape what the Fed does with rates. And rates loop right back into borrowing, spending, and growth. Once you see that circle, every economic headline has a place to sit. There's also a free database from the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis called FRED, at fred.stlouisfed.org. Type in any of these terms, and you'll find the same kinds of charts economists and investors use. 4 questions, 5 minutes. The next time the news throws a statistic at you, you won't scroll past it. You'll know what it measures and where it fits. And if the economy just felt a little less like a foreign language, that's exactly what this channel is for.